Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Combo Convo. Today we'll be reviewing the third issue of Max Landis' American Alien. I'm Bruce Wayne. Alright, Vic, issue 3. Issue 3 entitled Parrot. It's another really good issue from right off the bat. Again, we have to give props to the illustrator. This one is a different one. This one is Jolie Jones. Rico Renzi and Ryan Sook come back to provide the color as a colorist and the cover artist. And again, a very different style of comic book, another different style of drawing, but it works. I mean, we're seeing the character age, and there's like a different feel to it. Obviously, based on the premise of this issue, it has a very it's interesting the way it's drawn, because it's like it gives them more of a stylistic, like, I don't want to say adult, but it definitely feels like a progression.
Yeah.
Like we started off Dove, where it looked like a kid's kind of comic, and then the second one was like a teenage kind of comic, and this one's like a young adult.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like 21 here because they were based off of Bruce Wayne's age.
Yeah.
And they're about the same age.
And yeah, what'd you think? I mean, the fact that this had a lot of interesting points and interesting stuff happening in this issue. So what'd you think? What was your first impressions?
I liked it a lot. You know, this is another smash issue. You know, I like this one probably a little bit more than the others because now we're seeing Clark as the adult,
Right.
Going into his young adult years, and you know, it shows a different version. Like this one, I feel is more lighthearted than the other two.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, because like they were playing around with the character more. He was having he was letting loose. Like he wasn't stressed out or anything like that.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any of those really
Life
kind
or
of
death
moments. Even when there was life or death moment, you know what I'm saying? It was
Even
still, that was very light, which was hilarious.
No, but you're right. Yeah.
It was good. I liked it. You know, it's also cool. Like they with the mention of like Bruce Wayne. Like, okay, this is Bruce Wayne's yacht, and the people thinking this is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I thought that was clever. I was like, are they gonna show the guy, or is he? It was interesting. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, and they mentioned that he was gone since age 12. So
They said that he's been kind of like off the grid since 12. I don't think he's been gone since 12.
but just off the grid.
But you gotta, mind you, I remember when I was reading that, I was like, telling you and stuff like, oh, but that dude's training. You know, like they don't know. They don't know what he's that dude's doing. Trying to become badass. That dude there. He's going to like that next level.
I like how they started off with like you kind of see Kansas and he's like talking to Pete.
Yeah.
And they mentioned, I guess, the breakup of Lana. He's like, oh, this came at a perfect time. Go take a trip. Don't worry about the whole Lana thing. Just go and do your thing. You need to go see the world or have a different thing. So I like that they kind of started you off where we last left off, he's a Kansas City boy. He's a small town boy. And now he's got dropped into the ship that is owned by Oliver Queen, which we know later on is going to become Green Arrow. So it's interesting that they even dropped Oliver Queen in this issue.
Yeah, that's another big one, yeah.
And everybody's like, they surprise, happy birthday, Bruce. And he's just caught up in this whole, like, very rich, elite, young, rich crowd. And in the midst of all of that, he meets this redhead that we find out her name's Minerva, although in one part of the issue he calls her Barb. So I don't know if her full name is Barbara Minerva or Barb Minerva. Right now she's like mystery, like a mystery girl. She could come back later on as somebody else, or she just could be a one-time thing.
Yeah, I know you had made mention she kind of had that Poison Ivy kind of look.
Yeah, green eyes, long red hair.
She kind of looked like a little bit like Barbara Gordon for me, you know?
Could be.
But then again, she might be a little too old. I mean, too young. I mean, too old really to be Barb, like in the future. Like right now, she's the Barbara Gordon age. But yeah, I mean, she was a very interesting character. I like that character a lot.
She was basically the voice of letting loose and the voice of like be who you are, because she had a very interesting quote where she was telling him just be Bruce Wayne. Like they're expecting Bruce Wayne, just be yourself, and he was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can be Bruce Wayne. And she was like, look, you can be yourself even when you're pretending to be someone else. And I felt like that was a good quote to foreshadow like him becoming Superman. Is like, look, you can pretend to be another person, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop being who you are. It's just you're someone else. You're showing that you're somebody else. So I thought that was a pretty cool kind of double meaning type of quote. But yeah, throughout the whole thing, she's like telling him, look, have fun. Like, this is what you're here for. Just tell me about yourself. You know, just let loose. And we see a lot in a lot of panels. There's a lot of funny panels where, you know, he's like a DJ. He's like on a water ski. Chilling. And he's just loving life. But you brought up a good point off camera. We were talking about it a little bit, and you were saying about the caviar incident and how that kind of shows a little bit of Clark.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. You know, the fact when they're over there like eating it like chips, he had said, this is like $4,000, you know, saying a piece. And he was talking like this, you know, he's making mention of this girl who got burnt real bad in Smallville. We all pitched together to like go ahead and pay for her surgery. And he says like, you know, a whole disc could have paid for a bunch of surgeries, you know, for a lot of people. So he's pretty much, he's there, but he's like, he's enjoying the situation, but he's still himself. Like, like he still hasn't forgotten that, you know, and he's having that moment. It's like, well, damn, these people are just like doing this up every time, you know what I'm saying, like every weekend and stuff. And, you know, like they're living life like this, and there are other people out there could benefit from this.
And that shows a lot of his character, because you're seeing the morals that he has as growing up to be a young adult. I mean, even when he takes Bruce Wayne's clothes, he tells Minerva, he's like, yeah, I borrowed his clothes, but I'm gonna give it back. And she's like, yeah, that sounds about right for you. Like, even she gets right away like, oh, okay, you're the good guy. Like, you're the guy that wants to help people. And, you know, you're taking clothes, but you're giving them back at the end of the day.
Not to, I like what she also called him in that scene. She called him, what she said, Kansas.
Kansas, yeah.
Which was something similar to what Lois calls him. She calls him Smallville.
Smallville, yeah.
But she calls him Smallville. So I think that might be also a way to establish a relationship with Lois. But, you know, he probably sees similarities in Minerva. You know what I'm saying? So it might be. Because this is not like a love him and leave him type of guy. Like, you know.
Yeah, at the end, he wanted her to. He was like, I was hoping that you would come with me. And she's like, yeah, I was thinking about it, but nah, I'm not that type of girl. Yeah. And he's like, oh, man. So he's definitely
like, he's not. He's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope I see you again. And she's like, yeah, I hope I see you again, too. Especially after that night. Superman.
That one night stand.
Superman rocked whole world. You know that. You know that.
The eyes, she was like, wow, a lot has happened. It's like, yeah, I bet a lot did happen with old Clark.
You don't know. You don't know.
You don't know the power of Superman.
You better start asking Lana about this. You know, she knows. She knows.
But yeah, it's crazy, you know. And then going back to his morals, you know, you were saying that in the comic, you said he wanted to become a veterinarian, and he was telling about how he wanted to save the animals, and they started talking about this cool discussion about natural selection. And I think the quote is like, natural selection is garbage once you introduce compassion.
Yeah.
And again, it shows like, you know, he wants to be compassionate. Like, he wants to be the guy that even when things look like it's bad, he wants to be the good.
Yeah, and it's interesting that he said like veterinarian and stuff. So he must have been at this point kind of going to school for that and stuff, because eventually, you know, he ends up becoming a journalist. Like, yeah. I'm curious to see what gets him to that mode that he wants to go and do that.
Well, I think it's the end, because towards the end here, you know, when he's talking to her
about traveling,
he's like, and it's not only that, I think it's his interaction with the rich people. He's like, look, I this whole time I've been afraid to leave Kansas. Like,
if he becomes a veterinarian, he's just gonna stay in Kansas.
Yeah. So he's like, I traveled once to California, and I just flew back because I was so scared. And he's like, now I realize that if I'm meant to be somebody here, I have to do it outside of Smallville. Like, I want to meet people. I want to help people. I want to talk to people. So you could already tell the ball's rolling with this whole adventure that he's had, that he's like, oh my God, like, this world is so much bigger. And I've been so afraid to explore it because I just kind of wanted to be the Kansas boy. But now I realize that maybe I shouldn't be a vet. Maybe I should be more outgoing. And I think that he discovered, you know, with the going back to the $4,000 chip, he's like, I think that my purpose has to be with serving the little guy. And right now, since he hasn't really thought about being a hero, maybe he's thinking, well, I can be a reporter. That's a way for me to travel and help people out. But we'll see. But I love that was the kind of the pinnacle of the story, was he realized, like, no, I can't be in Smallville anymore. Like, I'm about to be 21. I need to leave. I need to go explore the world. even even when he's a little drunk and he's yelling at the sky, you can see kind of he's still a little bit not resentful, but he's just like, you left me here, but I'm having fun without you, screaming to the stars, like saying to whoever his parents were, because he doesn't know, there's no connection of that, but he's just like, look, I don't know why I'm here, why you left me here, but I'm having fun. And I think that those 2 points were like the biggest points of this, as far as just the theme of this was like letting go, having fun, and exploring. The other big thing was, so we got introduced to Oliver Queen, but then we get introduced to Deathstroke because it's so funny in the panels. It's like he's drunk, and then
which was interesting because at first something happened in the last issue I wanted to discuss, but I wanted to see what's going to happen in this issue.
Yeah.
It was really about the range of his powers, because everybody's got different range of powers when it comes to Superman.
Right.
Some is just like the last one, he was injured by bullets.
Yeah.
Like it didn't kill him or whatnot, but it injured him. Like saying revolver to the face and a shotgun to the chest. Mm-hmm. Like these things injured him. So I was like, okay, he hasn't quite absorbed either the yellow sun yet, or this is a more vulnerable Superman. Mm-hmm. So then when I saw him get drunk, I was like, this is a very vulnerable Superman. Yeah. Like I was like, wow, like this is not the invincible Superman that I've been used to seeing lately. This lately, like
nothing hurts him. Yeah.
But then you come to find out that the thing's laced. The thing is doped. It's dope with something that was supposed to
kill Bruce,
a regular mortal, in like what, an instant, like almost
30 seconds. He's like, oh, you're gonna die in a couple seconds. So like we figure like you drink it and a minute later you're dead. And to him, all it did was just make him drunk.
Yeah, just make him like drunk and stuff, which is hilarious and stuff. And then you saw like then I was like, okay, then I saw them engage in a fight, which is pretty cool, because then you see the sword break on him, you know what I'm saying, and he snaps the other one in half. I was like, okay, so this is like kind of like the Superman that I know, and it's interesting. Like I like that whole exchange, because he's like, what the hell, like
Bruce Wayne is who the hell is Bruce Wayne?
He's like scratching his head and stuff. Like this not supposed to be.
And he just
be gone, fool.
Flicks him off the boat, which I thought was so funny. He just flicks him with a finger. But it's interesting because that introduces not only Deathstroke but Falcone.
Yeah,
it's a Falcone hit.
Yeah,
and then the big Batman connection, which is at the very last panel when we cut to Ra's al Ghul being training Bruce Wayne and calling him Son of Bats.
The Son of Bats.
Son of Bats. And Bruce is really trying to figure out who's the imposter. He's like, who the hell is this guy trying to go around as me?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool too. Also the fact that they're going with that Ra's al Ghul training them angle. Mm-hmm. With depends on like the writer, the story. The man has been through he's been through multiple trainings. Like he's been through like so much. Like he's learned from
Japan,
escape artist. Like he learned judo from this person, jiu-jitsu from this person, to be a detective from this person, computer science from this person, to be a mechanic from this person. Like he's learned everything from everything. So in this case, they actually went with that Ra's al Ghul one, which wasn't necessarily, I guess, a traditional one, but it's also, it really doesn't matter, because he's going to teach him how to become that badass he's going to be. So I kind of like the Ra's al Ghul connection in the sense that they could tie it to a major villain for Batman in the future. And not to mention, because Ra's al Ghul is also a major villain for like Wonder Woman and stuff,
Yeah.
For these guys.
Yeah.
So I like that.
And the fact that it's like you said, he gets training from a lot of people. So we could have just seen like a footnote in his training, like, oh, now he's training with Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, he could have been training for like maybe a month or two, or a few years, maybe the whole majority of the duration.
Yeah,
we don't know. But I like that whole panel with that, because it was funny. Like you see, because he's serious. He's like,
he's like, who are you? Who is this guy? He's really pissed off. Like I've spent 12, from age 12, disappeared. All of a sudden, you kind of look like me, and people think you're me. No.
Yeah, I mean,
who are you?
Yeah, and like who's banking off of my name? Yeah. I don't know. We don't necessarily know if he's been gone for the whole 12 years. Like the chick kind of said that
he just hasn't shown up to parties.
Grid for like since like age 12 and stuff. I guess since the death of his parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he necessarily been. I know he was gone for many years though. You know what I'm saying? Several years. So.
But it was so cool. It's so cool that you're seeing Deathstroke, you're seeing Oliver Queen, you're seeing Batman, you're seeing Ra's al Ghul. Like there's a world that's already building around. We're not only getting a Superman comic, but we're also getting a DC comic. Like these people exist in this world. So it's cool that rather than him just make up a villain to come and stop him or these random characters. It's like, no, let me pick from the pool of characters that already exist in the comics and build this world around. Because I'm guessing in the next issue it may even build off of that. We don't know. So, but as far as this issue, I thought it was great. I thought it was a cool, funny issue that really underlined the importance of Clark wanting to leave Kansas and exploring the world. And introduce, like I said, Bruce Wayne and Ra's al Ghul. What'd you think? Final thoughts?
Thought it was real good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the progression of the story.
It's really good. You should go check it out. That's issue 3. We'll give you issue 4 on the next episode. That's it for this episode. Make sure to subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Definitely tweet us. We're on Twitter at @combo_convo. Let us know what you think about the comic. Anything that maybe you want to recommend us to review next. But until then, like I always say, we'll see you next time.